Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Kidding. Physical media way. Shoutouts. Alright guys, I got a video here for you. It is nothing new. It is nothing out of the ordinary. It is, of course, a tips for collecting physical media video. That's right. It is from me. And what's it called? I was just, it's nothing you haven't heard before, except for maybe one. And I'll put that at the end. Obviously, I hope y'all watched the whole thing. And what's it called? I might have just expanding upon what I think, for these tips. And I just realized my glasses are because I stepped outside to help my wife or with something. So, anyways, so here we go. So, no particular order. And of course, some may link with others. You may hear me go back and forth a little bit. So, first tip I got, and of course, if you're looking at this is chicken scratch. I'm well aware. I'm left handed. That's not an excuse, but you know what I'm saying. Tip number one, don't, or sorry, no, that's the second one. Sorry. Buy what you want. And asterisk, a few reasons. I'll tell you why. Obviously, buy what you want as far as, they goes, 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, VHS, whatever you like. And what you can, what you can do, obviously don't go broke. Don't go broke doing it, if you can't afford the bills or, you're not able to eat, don't do it, or don't really do it. It's not recommended. However, obviously, we are creatures of needs and wants. So I'll say this, because obviously we've done it before. Some of us have done it before where, let's just say we've bought something and we probably shouldn't have because of food reasons or whatever. Heck, I know I've gone and bought something and for sure have eaten ramen for like a few days. So as far as that goes, only do it if you know you could survive. I'm not wanting to feeding into bad habits or whatever, but if you know you could survive and you know you'll be fine in the end, then go for it. Do what you want. It'll make you happy. Um, but like I said, obviously, don't go without eating. Don't if it cuts into your bills or so, then obviously don't do it. It's probably best not to. um, all right. And then as far as it goes, this is okay. So obviously, it depends on how you consume things and you buy things. Me personally, I'm into buying like my movies if I'm interested in them or not interested in them or something. So example, um, obviously I could have probably that's the thing I probably could say before this is obviously rent it, rent a movie, show, whatever, stream it. Obviously streaming has its place. It's not all the big bad. What's it called? It can be, but obviously the same companies that put out these streaming apps and everything are the same companies that put out the physical media. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so just with that in mind, obviously stream it if that's a thing you do, or just somehow watch it via other means. But support where you can, of course. But yeah, buy or do not buy and watch what you may or may not be interested in. See, I know people that kind of like to stick to what they know, what they want, and that's fine. Me personally, I'm kind of more of an open mind. So it's one of those things where example horror movies. I genuinely like horror movies. It takes me a while to watch them. I might have said that before, or sometimes I don't because it is actually scary or whatever the reason, depending. Um, but I'll take a chance on it. I'll take a chance on a horror movie. If yeah, yeah, like I'll take a chance on it, you know. So example, um, so these Shanghai Nights, Shanghai Noon. I have always wanted to watch these movies. I saw the trailers and stuff when I was growing up and I was a kid. And it's one of those things, obviously, Jackie Chan off of Rush Hour, Owen Wilson, he was in a few things. It's one of those things where I was genuinely interested because of these. And then Trading Place is another example. I know it's a classic. Obviously, I've seen Dan Aykroyd movies, I've seen Eddie Murphy movies. So I bought it, because I wanted to, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was a great movie. I'd never seen it before, basically, but that's just how I consume my stuff. And then obviously, you'll hear me say it over and over again. I love Fright Night, and Fright Night's one of those horror movies. I said, it took me a second to watch because I thought it was gonna be something scary and whatnot. And granted, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to have the scary moments. When I think it's fine as a movie. Um, but yeah, no, it's a great movie. I love this movie. This is one of my favorite movies, and basically after the first time watching it, and I've watched it plenty of times since. It really is. So, with that said, um, yeah, like if you want to take a chance on things, I definitely recommend it. Take a chance. Take a chance on something. If not, then it's fine. Um, yeah, so that's what I have to say about that. Okay, and then this one I'll just say because it's a thing. It genuinely is a thing. Obviously, we want things, and sometimes we don't want to miss out. The fear of missing out. Um, don't try not to give into that. If for some, obviously there's sales, and I know sometimes it could run out of stock, but obviously there's always a secondhand market. Obviously don't support scalpers if you really want it. Wait for it to go on a cheap. Sometimes they'll even do more reprints. Sometimes the best thing to do is wait. Just be on the lookout for that. That's all I have to say on that because I know it's kind of like a beaten. A lot of these are probably beaten by a beaten dead. Obviously this one, curation. Curate your collection, guys. I actually really don't have a problem with like space or so, and I really don't have any movies that I need to get rid of except for maybe two, and I'll get into that here in a minute. Um, but obviously, things. And obviously, I know some of us collectors, we don't want to get rid of our stuff, even if we don't like it. And hey, that may be the case. But yeah, curation, guys. So me right now, if I had to say off the top of my head, and these are movies that I've bought since I started buying, are movies that I'd probably maybe say I could get rid of. But to be fair, I've only seen these movies once. That's basically when I bought them, and that's it. So, example is Casino. I mean, I like these movies. Typically, they're generally good. Like Goodfellas and whatnot. Um, I just for some reason it just was a drag a little bit for me. And like I said, I really got to give this another chance. I like Robert De Niro. I like Joe Pesci, whatever, Sharon Stone. They're all great. Um, Even James Woods in his role. Personally, I like them as actors. I really got to go back and rewatch it. I'm willing to give it another chance. And it's one of those things where even if let's just say I give it another chance and I still don't like it, I may not even get rid of it. Who knows? I don't know. But no, that's also the good thing. One good thing about physical guys is that we could resell it. That was actually not a point that I had, but I just remember that we could resell our stuff. That's also a part of curation as well. I'll get into that in a second. But also Doctor Strangelove. This is one of those ones where I probably should give it another rewatch. I put it off for a while, and then I finally watched it, and then it had funny bits and funny moments in it, but it was also like I don't know. I don't know. So there's like two movies I know. Like I'm like, there's not really. They didn't really hit with me. Um, so if it ever comes down to space, obviously I don't have a problem right now. This is really all I have for my movies, maybe in a shelf here, and I have this whole room to fill up eventually. But that's what I was gonna say is Um, with curating your movies, you can put them into smaller storages, like like CD case, if you're willing to do that. You could sell your movies if need be. Um, there's a few ways you could do that. Let me see what else I have here. Oh, okay. So also what I wanted to say was like space issues. I know a lot of people say like um, whenever it comes down to maybe even moving, it's tiresome to move your stuff. Obviously, you can get little CD cases for that. That is a part of the solution. Put them in containers, of course. Um, or if you want to, avoid moving all those movies, get a house or somewhere you could stay permanently. I'm partially joking with that because obviously that's just not possible for some people. But what I'm saying is that is a solution, technically. If you don't want to lug around and move around stuff, stay in one spot. Okay, I say that jokingly, but also seriously in some sort of way, just so I could say that is a legit reason. Um, anyways, as far as it goes, moving on. So, as far as movies and physical media go right now, the thing is, I think a lot of people are saying that it's getting expensive, and I think I see that. I think some of it really is. Like I mentioned, Paprika is like almost $50 um, at retail full price, and I waited on that, and I actually got a sale. Look out for sales, not just on Black Friday, but like throughout the year. Look at retailers, Amazon, even or not Best Buy anymore, not even kind of Target, and then even Walmart. All the retailers. Look at the retailers and let's see if there's any sales. Boutique labels, obviously, you have your Arrow Video and Diabolic and whatever else. Criterion, obviously, it's summertime right now. Criterion usually does their summer sale. It's 50% off. That's where I got After Hours when that released a year or two ago for 50% off, and that was a new release. And it was 4K. I got that movie on a sale, and I waited. I waited for that sale to happen because basically it came out right around the same time. So obviously Criterion has that summer sale, and then they had that fall winter sale. Just be on the lookout for that. Also, a great source is just look at like any social stuff, social media like Twitter, X, whatever. Look for any of those accounts that list any pricings, or even like YouTubers. If you watch any YouTubers that cover that, look for them as well. They usually will have something where they have a link to sales and whatnot. But Blu-ray.com is a great place to even keep up with that. So whoever I don't know how that all works, but generally, I've looked through and ordered, based on what's off of Blu-ray.com, what they have listed as to what's on sale. But yeah, be on the lookout for the sale stuff. From Blu-ray.com, I always checked it, especially during the holidays. I always checked it during the holidays. I checked it out the whole year, um, and whatnot. And okay, also Groove.com. That's I know a lot of people will probably say that too, but Groove. Surprisingly, I have actually gotten off of Groove myself. um, they just had sales. They usually have sales going on all the time. They have like different types of sales too, like Valentine's, Mother's Day, Father's Day, um, anime. They have different types of things, Blu-rays. Holidays. So be on the lookout for sales. They're really really good. Like I've bought a lot of movies, just off sales alone. Like even Into the Dragon. I bought that on a sale, even though like it released like last year at full price. So it's really good. Let's see. Oh yeah, and don't forget, of course, secondhand. If you don't mind used movies and whatnot, obviously be on the lookout for what actually is being sold as far as you know, your pictures on eBay or so. Look out local, like your like exchanges or just your mom and pop shops, whatever there are near you. Um, Facebook Marketplace. I've recently been eyeing Facebook Marketplace because I see a lot of people who will list their movies that they're selling, that you can look through. And also, yeah, also I think I mentioned eBay. Ask your friends, family. Obviously, a lot of people I know a lot of people have gotten rid of their movies already. But I know when, so example, I've asked like some friends on Facebook publicly. I was like, hey, anybody have any movies? And I've actually gotten some friends to respond to me, and we'd get DM and get into that whole thing. They show me what they're getting rid of or whatever. And one of my friends, he was just offloading his movies and selling them. So yeah, yeah. Ask your friends, your family, and then in general, if you actually are in like any like Facebook groups like for your neighborhood, ask your neighborhood, your neighbors, your neighborhood. I've personally asked it, and I haven't able to contacted somebody who's willing to do that. But just to say, if you're generally in your like neighborhood group, a lot of people usually give away stuff for free. That's a general tip. Sorry, but you never know. Maybe somebody will say, "Hey, I'm giving away all my movies." For whoever comes and picks it up first gets it. I've seen it. Like there was somebody actually. I remember they were getting rid of like a whole. They got rid of this box of stuff, and it was games, and it was actually movies. I saw like a Dragon Ball in there. I was like, no, somebody got it before me, so it was unfortunate. Or also check your local libraries. Um, yeah, 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 yeah. So let's see. Okay, and then obviously here we got, you've probably heard this as well. Get some backup players for your players. Obviously, if something goes down on your player, then obviously you'll have an extra to use. Be it whatever you want. So like, I example have my 4K player, my Sony player that I have, and then as a backup, basically, I kind of do have my Xbox Series X and my PS5. Those play 4Ks, so they're obviously not going to be as um, in oh my god intricate. They're not going to be as in depth, but at least you have a player there for that. Also, you could find like really cheap Blu-ray players, pawn shops and whatnot. I've actually found a few where like it was like $25 for like a pretty good like 3D all in one whatever. Um, Obviously, they always hear the thing get a region free player. Um, Heck, I still have some older console that does actually DVD like Xbox 360 and a PS2. I even have, and I think I mentioned this previously, but I have a USB Blu-ray drive. And if I had to say, I think the price I got it is like $80 whenever I bought it. There's also 4K drives as well that are in the USB format, that hook up to your laptop or computer. Look into those. I've seen the 4K one through LG. I've seen that one go down to like $100, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe even lower. But be on the lookout. And okay, maintain your movies. Obviously, what they always say: temperatures, humidity, whatever. The obviously this place is air conditioned, and it just goes on the shelf, really, and then obviously I clean it off whenever I put it in the player itself. Oh, speaking of, maintain your player as well. If you have I actually got this a long time ago. Where is it at? Yeah, here we go. This is obviously old, but it's one of those ones. These laser lens cleaner. Obviously, it's not like something in depth. Obviously, this just has the little things on it, and I probably got to replace it too, like little things to clean it. But yeah, no, maintain that as well. If you have one of those, get one of those. I don't know what the best is, but that just popped in my head right now. Maintain your player if you have a CD cleaner or cleaner. Um, and then let me see. Okay. So I'll say this. So this is like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. This is one of those ones where it's very specific. And I'm not even sure if this is something that I know it can be done. It's just I'm not sure how like the parts are or so. But if you're a tech person, if you consider yourself like a techie, I would even say if something were to break down, you don't have a warranty on it anymore, and maybe you don't have a backup player yourself or something. And if you have the know how, maybe looking to see if you could repair your player itself. Obviously, try to look up any videos that may help with your specific player, and obviously see if there's parts that can be replaced and be bought. Just as an example, I have personally, I haven't had to replace um, like any laser or anything on any of my stuff yet. But I'll just tell you my work experience. I've replaced, example, the Joy-Con sticks on a Joy-Con controller for the Switch. Um, Obviously, I have my tools here. I got my tools for my Switch and my consoles and stuff, and that's pretty simple. Um, I actually have like a switch up here. I don't think you can see it, but there's a switch up there, two of them that their screens need to be replaced, and they actually sell them. So that's just an example. But if you have the know-how, fix your own stuff if you can. That'll actually save some money depending on the part, and then all you have to do is just fix it yourself. That was my one tip. I don't think I've ever seen anyone say, but that's my tip to people. If you can, otherwise, if you want to just spend the money to buy something extra, then do it. Obviously it takes work to do sometimes, but hey, you never know. And have fun with your movies, guys. Have fun with buying. If it's something that's a stressor, like if you're buying your movies and a stressor, be it like maybe you goes along with like you're buying your not able to afford your bills or something like that, then take a step back and reflect possibly. Like for real, like sometimes these things they can be quite addicting, and they may be something to be reflected upon. So have fun with it, guys. Have fun with collecting your movies and what you like. Gosh, there was one once again where I forgot, and I don't remember right now. But with that being said, I don't want to keep this going on for too long. I've touched on quite a bit of things, and actually, I kind of went a little faster than when I did this. Actually, my second time doing this than the first time. But I know a lot of this sounds familiar. Obviously, you'll hear a lot of these from other people, but yeah, it just generally, like if you stick to some things, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna utilize, everything to the best that you can. And it's a fun time. Like I said, it's a very exciting time for movies. Very exciting time for physical media, guys. So just be on the lookout for stuff. God, I really wish I could remember the last one. I had like one that linked into somewhere, but I totally don't remember right now. Um. Anyways, guys, comment what you may think. Any more that you may have. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. But other than that, guys, and also, okay, also, guys, I know this isn't big, but thank you for the people that have followed or subscribed recently. I do appreciate that, guys. Obviously, it's not a lot. I'm still like at the low numbers, but hey, that's fine. I'm kind of doing this because I want to. I want to talk about it. I'm very passionate about it. Sorry I've been all over the place, guys. Sorry for all the sorries. But other than that, guys, thank you all for watching. Like, do all that good stuff. Comment, let's talk. Other than that, I think that's all that I have for now. Thank you for watching.